it. All right, look, let me help you out. I the first thing I want to show you here is what I'm using. Of course, you can do whatever you want, but let me just show you this, and if Chris can zoom in on that, I'm sure the people would appreciate it. That's what I'm using right now. So if you like the way it sounds, if it's crystal clear, and you can hear what I'm saying and all that, you can get it from Newegg for under 15 bucks, and I think it's free shipping. It's the Plantronics 326 headset. So it's a nice little gizmo. I know Chris is using an earpiece. He got it off of eBay for like $5, free shipping or whatever. If he can send me a link to that, I'll be happy to put that up next session, and you can take a look at that. That's one of the tools you need. It's got really great sound rejection, so if you're in like a noisy environment, you don't have to worry about, the kid screaming next door or whatever, picking all that up. So don't worry about that. We were late last week. I have to apologize. We were having some technical issues. I was pretty sure Windows 10 wasn't going to screw me up, but it did. But let me show you a quick workaround, and it was so much easier the workaround than what I did because it took me an hour, and this actually takes like 60 seconds. So let me show you this. This is how you do it. So if you click on that, when you in the lower right hand, if you have Windows 10 and the sound drops out on you, this is what you do. If you look at that little graphic, in the lower right hand corner by the clock, you'll have your speaker icon. And so if you right click on the speaker icon, it'll come up and it'll have a whole bunch of things you can do. If you click on playback devices, the window in the upper left-hand corner will actually come up. You see that with the speakers, headphones, and communications, headphones, and all that. Okay, if you double-click on the speakers, headphones, or any one of them actually, but the speakers, headphones is the one that works for me. The other little window comes up, and has 4 tabs at the top: General, Levels, Enhancements, and Advanced. If you go to the Advanced tab, which is what's shown right there, at the bottom it says Restore the Defaults. If you click that, it'll change your audio setting. And right now mine is set to 16-bit, 48,000 hertz. And to make sure that your sound is working, you just click that little green arrow that says Test. You press that little button, and if it's working, it's right back in order. Apply it and OK it, and away you go, and you're done. And you won't have to deal with the screwing around that I did. Anyways, as far as tonight's libation, I'm having Bloody Marys with shrimp on a skewer. I thought you would like to know that. But anyways, let me talk to the startup people on the Twitch. People that are starting a group. You're the Dungeon Master. I'm going to share with you. I tried doing this last week, but like I said, we had some issues, so I'm just going to rebroadcast it again. These are mistakes that the Dungeon Master can do. This whole talk is about 15 minutes, so hang on, I'll go as quick as I can. Don't try to remember anything, because I will post this transcription in the DM 101 forum. You can look at it to your heart's content. You can copy, paste, or whatever. And I'll even put this audio version of me explaining it to you. I'll put it up on the YouTube and as well as on Twitch. The YouTube one is there for longer. The one on Twitch, though, only lasts for about a week or so. So anyways, DMing by the seat of your pants, or as I say, DMing on the fly. You don't want to do that. Have your stuff written down, or not having things written. It just creates all kinds of issues. Shows lack of creativity is just horrible DMing. Don't do it. Always commit to your venture on paper. Work out your details. Otherwise, it can lead to, I hate to say it, but cheating for the DM. Or changing things to suit yourself during the game, which in turn puts your players at an inherent disadvantage. So just use the honesty system, and it works for both players and the Dungeon Master. Makes for a pleasant environment, and it gets rid of like cheating and min-max playing. Okay, the other thing is not providing enough information. Try to avoid merely relying on the map as all that is available to your players. Too many times, the dungeon master falls in the trap of lackluster performance by failing to provide the players with everything they should know. Be sure to provide all of the senses: sight, smell, hearing, taste, and touch when possible. Most dungeon masters, they remember to provide the dimensions of the area the players see, but they forget to describe its construction. Is it wood? Is it metal? Is it stone? Is it glass? Etc. They may provide ceiling heights, but forget to describe what, if anything, they see there, or if it's obscured in darkness because it's higher or beyond the ability for the players to physically see. What about color? What about the smell? Is the air rank? Does it have the smell of mold, smoke, or even the stench of death and decay? When you walk, do your footsteps echo endlessly because of the stone construction? Is it windy enough where it's hard to hear each other as the voices are dissipated? Is it overly quiet, which may mean something? Is there maybe a sweet tasting odor in the air accompanied by the buzz of flies? Is the floor covered in carpeting? Is it soft on the foot? Is it rough or bumpy? Does it cause a sharp discomfort with every step? These are just examples. Also, don't forget to ask your players to describe their attack in detail so it provides, or excuse me, when it's successful, or provide that when it's left out. This imagery can make for interesting stories later on. Another thing I see is needless over planning, putting hours and hours into making a world, intricate detail, story planning, etc., which sometimes may never even end up happening because the players choose to go a different way. Remember, the campaign is not your game. The players are the stars. Your role is to enable them and to make that happen. And don't try to stick to your story. Your players will usually drive it for you. Have fun always. When the players ruin everything that you make, don't try to do everything yourself. Use pre-made materials when possible, and that's like what we're doing here. We're using adventure modules that you can buy at the store. You don't have to be the single creative driving force in everything, because let me tell you, you will get like totally burnt out and you'll lose interest, and then you won't have any fun because you will have put so much work on yourself. So try to use things that are free. I put lots of stuff up in the DM 101 forum. Help yourself to that. Use that to your advantage and take advantage of that. And of course, like some time ago, I posted in the DM 101 forum examples I use in the group rules. Feel free to copy and modify them as you see fit. I've been using group rules for nearly as long as I've been hosting games. And the purpose of that is you can state your expectations by having a DM player notes handout. And this serves as kind of like a one-stop location where the players can find everything they need for your game. This will, of course, contain your rules that I just mentioned that you can copy, any of the materials you'll be using, which books. You can also put in there links to additional reading materials, and specify what your parameters are, your campaign settings, your level of magic if there's a lot or minimal, and alignment of the party if evil is okay, and if there's a necessity for mixed classes, like you have to have a thief or you have to have a magic user or whatever, etc. So, and also another place DMs usually fail is in the rulings. Try not to spend a lot of time on that. Move the game along and take care of mechanics in your forum in between sessions. Try to maintain control of your table. Don't let it get out of hand. Always take a break if necessary, and the players can talk about that ad nauseum while you're up and relieving yourself or whatever. And don't try to push the campaign along at a fast pace. I'm guilty of that, and so. But anyways, always give your players a chance to absorb what all is happening. which can happen quite easily when you have as many adventure modules as I have, and you want to expose your players to the work of the masters, in some cases the people who invented this particular game. So if you have to, go ahead and backtrack. Try to put your town stuff into your forum unless there are opportunities for role playing, ROLE. Then of course always handle that in game. That may be an opportunity for them to ask questions while at the same time they're actually taking care of some business. It'll help them to gain insight, clues, warnings, tips, rumors, and other interesting information to really bring your campaign to life. And don't miss those, because that is just as important as overcoming a challenge. Another thing is I see is lack of role-playing, ROLE. A game without NPCs is just not as enjoyable as a game as it should be. Use NPCs to your advantage. They become vehicles to share information, ideas, suggestions, and that sort of stuff with your players. They can help move a game along without having to come out and reveal or tell the players the solution to the riddle or how to find their way if they're lost, etc. Okay, just a couple more. And be flexible. Saying no can always be a starting point, unless at some point later on you might be able to recant and restate your position. This group is a study, basically, in two things. So if you watch us week to week, you're going to see a couple things happen over the course of time. Number one is game mechanics, as specified from the game creators, and adventure module development. So by continuing to watch every week, you're going to see that revealed over time. The modules will get better and better. The mechanics will get better and better as we introduce new things that are a part of the game rule set. We don't do homebrew. We try to play everything as it's written as much as possible, so that we can do this little study and see how it works out. Does it work? Does it not work? Some people say, well, it doesn't work, but sometimes they really don't know because they never really had a chance to see it in action. So hopefully this is an example for you to watch and see if it works. If you don't, you can tweak it to however you want to do it, whatever. But we're trying to do it as written so you can see for yourself exactly what works, what doesn't work, or if it all works. And which reminds me, I have to lower the count of planned adventures in my Skype from 400 to 397 to go, since we just finished the trilogy. And lastly, DMs that overtalk. Let the players carry the conversation and role play amongst themselves. Step in when the conversation is either dying out, moving off topic, or it's just one or a few players that are doing all of the conversation. Your sessions should be inclusive. Everybody should be able to have their moment in the spotlight, per se. So don't let it needlessly be monopolized by the people that have a healthy dose of the gift of gab or monopolize anything. So, and they'll love the game if you have time to let them love their particular character. You let the players have fun, sit back and let them enjoy themselves. Don't interject and interrupt. Let the fun happen. Remember, the players' fun is your fun. By creating an actively engaging experience, you will have successfully done your job. Like a man who operates a boat, all you do is you steer it and you let the session proceedings move it along on its own. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that's helpful. And as a starting dungeon master, these are things that I have to watch out for, and I have to continually pay attention to. And so, but anyways, we're waiting on some folks. We may be a little short-handed tonight.